Yeah, I tried to explain to our audience who may not know the inside baseball of who the SPLC is, or just heard this term and with conservative media outlets that they follow and cover, but they don't really truly understand what this organization does. And they may have remembered it from another era when it was primarily known as a civil rights organization, and coming out of the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. era, for example. And it's far afield from that. But the analogy I used for my audience to understand why this is so upsetting to people like you and to me is in this line of work, because I'm on the target list of an organization like that with what I do, is the SPLC is essentially donating to them it is essentially donating to Nero's Rebuild Rome After the Fire fund, after he blamed and killed the Christians for the fire he started. This is an organization who intentionally slanders the brethren, to use a New Testament phrase. They do this on it. That's their business model, is the slandering of the brethren along the lines of what you just described. That's what they do.
Exactly. And they have actually said that their intent is to destroy organizations that believe in the sanctity of human life, marriage as the union of a man and a woman, and some other organizations as well. They want to destroy them. They're a $500 million organization in terms of assets. They've got hundreds of millions of dollars in offshore secret bank accounts. And their intent is to destroy Christian, pro-family, conservative organizations. And as a result, that's why Family Research Council was attacked by Floyd Corkins. It was related directly to the Southern Poverty Law Center's so-called hate map, and he wanted to commit mass murder. We also know that the person who shot Steve Deace and others in the Republican baseball practice game, he was a follower of the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's why at Liberty Counsel we have security cameras everywhere. It's why we have active shooter training drills, because these groups, Southern Poverty Law Center, is literally out to put out false rhetoric, which inflames individuals to want to commit bodily harm against Christians, conservatives, and pro-family individuals. You would not want to fund that. And yet, when you go buy a Chick-fil-A sandwich, some of that money is going to organizations like that. We know it for a fact. And other organizations that support abortion, that support harvesting baby body parts and selling them for a profit. And that's where Chick-fil-A money is actually going. So they have been duplicitous. They've wanted to profit off of the Christian community support while betraying them to move into these other communities and placating the LGBT communities. And they've been doing it behind the scenes, corporately and in their policies. And finally, they came out with an open public statement to say, this is who we are. So we have a choice as individuals, and that choice is to speak up. It's worse than, say, a secular corporation just using its money against our Christian values. That's bad enough. But when an organization puts on the cloak of Christianity and wants your support and then takes your money and your trust and puts it into organizations to fund them that kill children, that destroy God's design for marriage, and that are intent on destroying Christian organizations, I don't know what you say about that, but that's certainly duplicitous. It's a betrayal. And I think Chick-fil-A, and I'm praying that there's still time for it to reform, but they're going to have to make some serious decisions. They're going to have to remove some of the people that are in their executive boards and in their executive staff. They're going to have to defund some of these anti-Christian organizations. And I pray they go back to the original values of Truett Cathy.